what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. Now that it's getting close to the 1 year anniversary since, the slap heard around the world, the 5-finger treatment that Will Smith gave Chris Rock and everybody with their fake outrage. I'll talk about the Oscars briefly. In a video separate. But nevertheless, anyway. Now, D.L. Hughley, as which a lot of comedians, and I'm really starting to see comedians for being who they really are to a certain degree, which is bullies and punks. Because that's what they really are to a certain degree, a lot of them. Now, D.L. Hughley is basically trying to shame and trying to bully anybody that basically has sided with Will Smith. At the end of the day, Will Smith is more successful than pretty much all of the comedians that's out there currently, with the exception of a few. But nevertheless, it appears that Will Smith gave a lot of these comedians a lifeline, because now it appears that a lot of their skits is some of them still trying to capitalize off what Will Smith did to Chris Rock, which I think that was the best thing that happened to the Oscars, because nobody cared about the Oscars until Will Smith did that. He brought back something exciting about the Oscars, because we all know the Oscars is like basically 3 to 4 hours of torture. It's boring. It's boring. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But D.L. Hughley is basically coming after anybody who said that Chris Rock deserved to get slapped. Now, he's in particularly mad at this woman that works for the Root, or the Roots, which I've seen this lady. She looks really weird, to say the least. But she went on CNN and she said basically what happened with Chris Rock was a long time coming, because a lot of his skits are mean-spirited and directly aimed towards demeaning black women. And you could make a firm argument that is factual. At the end of the day, I meant what I said about Chris Rock being a vessel for basically white supremacy and being an olive branch and throwing an anchor, throwing out the anchor or the lifesaver for basically people to come aboard and basically exercise their presumption of black people as a whole. Like I said, we're not judged as individuals. We're judged as a group. The only thing is nobody else wants us to judge them as a group. They say, judge them as an individual. Well, I'm not doing that. Since you do it to us and have continued to do it to us and will still do it to us and probably will always do it to us, I'm going to give back the same energy. So don't come crying about, hey, can we? No. And don't come on here telling me this isn't about race. The funny thing is with this whole thing, why is white people so invested in this Chris Rock, Will Smith thing? That's what I don't understand. Oh, I know why. Because Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at their event. Like I said, had Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Source Awards or whatever, none of this would have happened. It wouldn't have been the public outrage and the public cry for all this stuff that happened with Will Smith, because like I said, it was overblown, and like Michael Bay say, this stuff was just blown way out of proportion, and it really was, and I stand by that. But D.L. Hughley and the rest of these comedians, they can't just go around thinking that everybody has to side with Chris Rock, because Chris Rock, like I said, he prefers to bully people from his own community. Like I said, he been starting stuff with Jada Pinkett for years. I just think that he liked her. He shot his shot. She turned him down, so he didn't have it in for it. He been saying stuff about her. Like I said, he liked trying to protect white people. Like I said before, he sat up there and talked about what Will Smith allowed, how Will Smith allowed his wife to disrespect him about an affair. Well, you allowed yourself as a black man to be disrespected by 2 white boys, where Jerry Steinfeld had to stand up for you. That ain't, I'm not ever gonna let you live that down, you punk. The real punk. But see, that's funny, none of those comedians bring that up. See, nobody wants to have that conversation, because when you bring that up, then all of a sudden the room get quiet. So where was that? Like I said, that outrage. Chris Rock could have said, hey man, come on man, you crossing the line. Or why didn't he call Louis C.K. a derogatory term for so-called Mexicans or white people? Like I said, he got all the smoke in the world for black people, but then he didn't have nothing to say. Chris Rock should never be respected for that. So while all you dudes are sitting up here defending Chris Rock, you black people, go look at that video and tell me, do you still respect Chris Rock? How you gonna defend that? I bet you Will Smith wouldn't have let Ricky Gervais or Louis C.K. call him the N-word to his face. Because if Louis C.K. had said that to me, I would. Oh yeah, I gotta be careful. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be careful. This the tube. Like I said, the more Chris Rock carries on about this, he just showing what type of dude he really is. The real B in this situation is Chris Rock. It's him. It's always been him. For real. How can you black people respect that? Respect him. Go look at that footage and tell me if you ain't seen that footage. How could you respect somebody that sat up there and let some 2 non-blacks call him the N-word and brag about how they use it towards black people? And he just sat up there and didn't do nothing. And Jerry Steinfeld had to check them 2 dudes for saying that, hey man, I don't use that word, and I'm not comfortable with hearing y'all say that. Once again, shout out to Jerry Steinfeld. He wasn't man enough to stand up for himself when those 2 dudes disrespected him, but all of a sudden he wanted to call himself trying to talk about Will Smith, a man and his wife. And like I said, you feminists, y'all exposed to. We're all at, you shouldn't talk to a woman or talk about a woman like that. Like I said, I told black women to stop falling for that feminist stuff, because white women don't care about y'all. Real talk. I'm just keeping it a buck. But yeah, DL, you can't be sitting up going around thinking he can bully and shame somebody. Like I said, none of those comedians want to talk about that. And don't give me that stuff. It's just a word. It's just a word. Well, it was just a tweet with Kyrie Irving, but you saw everybody crying about that. Everybody and their mama was crying about that. What happened to that sticks and stone may never hurt me? Oh my God, I can't believe Kyrie Irving tweeted that. Oh my God, he's man, get out of here. Like I said, the real fake outrage has been from these people that been so mad about this so-called Will Smith and Chris Rock thing. But they doing what they do best, basically instigating, trying to pull the black community apart. But then again, they've been doing that. So DL Hughley, you can go to hell, bro. Everybody don't mess with Chris Rock like that. Chris Rock don't deserve to be respected. And like I said, once again, you can't sit around going around saying whatever the hell you want to say. That was a mean-spirited joke that Chris Rock told, and he just thought he could get away with it. I guarantee you he wouldn't have said that about no white woman, because I know he didn't make jokes about white women that he ended up apologizing for. So like I said before, so to all you Negroes that's trying to defend Chris Rock, man, get out of here. I have no problem what Will Smith did to Chris Rock. Should he have did it at that particular outlet? No. But if he had did it behind the scenes, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. I'm just keeping it a buck. That's real talk. And nobody from outside my community gonna tell me how I'm supposed to feel and who I'm gonna side with. Once again, you know what you can kiss. Anyway, it's your boy Tell Biz. I'm out.